Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel.
Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel, where today we'll dive deep into the riveting twists and turns awaiting Port Charles residents from November 10th to 21st. As the autumn chill settles over the town, secrets unravel and alliances fracture in ways that will keep fans on the edge of their seats. Blending heartfelt confessions with high-stakes confrontations that redefine relationships across the board. Starting with the emotional undercurrents swirling around Lulu Spencer, she seeks solace in a candid conversation with her trusted confidant, Olivia Quarterman, pouring out her anxieties over the well-being of her daughter, Charlotte Casadini, and her son, Rocco Falconeri. Lulu's maternal instincts are firing on all cylinders, especially as whispers of potential dangers loom large. Imagine her pacing the Quartermain mansion's grand living room, her voice trembling as she describes vivid nightmares of Charlotte entangled in shadowy schemes tied to the Casadini legacy. This worrying isn't unfounded. Recent events suggest that if Rocco and Charlotte remain unwittingly drawn into the escalating chaos surrounding a mysterious lab break-in, Lulu's fears could manifest into a full-blown crisis. Picture the lab's sterile halls, once a hub of scientific innovation, now a scene of shattered glass and flickering alarms, pulling the younger generation into peril that echoes the town's darker history of covert experiments and family vendettas. Yet, amid this brewing storm, it's the dynamic duo of Giovanni Gio Palmieri and Emma Scorpio Drake who step into the spotlight, boldly spearheading the investigation into the lab invasion with a mix of youthful determination and sharp intellect. Emma, with her Scorpio Drake heritage fueling her curiosity, and Gio, whose street-smart instincts complement her analytical mind, uncover layers of intrigue that transform a simple break-in into a web of corporate espionage. As they pore over security footage in a dimly lit precinct room, their faces illuminated by computer screens, they stumble upon revelations that shatter their composure. Shocking behind closed doors dealings involving falsified research logs and hidden alliances with figures from Port Charles' pharmaceutical underbelly. These discoveries not only aghast them, but also ripple outward, forcing Emma to question loyalties she's long taken for granted, while Gio grapples with the moral weight of exposing truths that could upend lives. Dante Falconeri, ever the dedicated detective, soon finds his career bleeding into his personal world in a profoundly disruptive way, blurring lines between duty and family that he's fought to maintain. This collision course might stem directly from Gio's potential arrest. Envision Dante hesitating with handcuffs in hand during a tense standoff outside the lab, the weight of his badge clashing against his role as a mentor figure to the young investigator. If Dante must escort Gio to the Port Charles Police Department amid flashing lights and echoing accusations, the fallout could ignite fireworks, particularly from Brooklyn Quartermain, who won't hold back her fury. Brooklyn, protective to her core, might unleash a verbal torrent in the PCPD lobby, her words slicing through the air like daggers as she accuses Dante of betraying the very community he swore to serve, her eyes blazing with a mix of betrayal and desperation that highlights the fragile bonds within their circle. Meanwhile, Britt Western's composure crumbles spectacularly as the lab fiasco escalates into pandemonium, her medical expertise turning into a personal nightmare that exposes vulnerabilities she's hidden for years. Britt, haunted by her own health battles, navigates the chaos with a steely facade that cracks under pressure, perhaps witnessing tampered equipment that mirrors her private struggles with illness. Adding fuel to her frenzy, she inevitably crossed paths with the enigmatic Pascal in the bustling streets of Port Charles, his sudden appearance stirring ghosts from her past that she thought buried, like a chance encounter at the Metro Court where his knowing smile sends chills down her spine. Jason Morgan, the steadfast enforcer, positions himself as her anchor during this turmoil, offering quiet support in a secluded corner of the docks where their charged dialogue delves into trust and survival. But just as vulnerability peeks through, their moment shatters courtesy of Professor Henry Hank Dalton's impeccably poor timing, bursting in with urgent lab findings. Or maybe Pascal's shadowy interference, lurking just out of sight to exploit the distraction. Undeterred, Britt channels her outrage into a fiery confrontation with Jens Sidwell, unleashing a barrage of accusations in a high-rise office overlooking the harbor. Her threats laced with the desperation of someone fighting for her very lifeline. Sidwell, unflinching and calculating, retaliates with venom. His retort carrying the sting of his earlier vow to withhold her crucial medication doses, a move that could plunge Britt into isolation and health decline, forcing her to navigate a labyrinth of ethical dilemmas in the cutthroat world of medical research. This showdown not only heightens the stakes for Britt, but also underscores the broader theme of power plays in Port Charles, where personal health becomes a bargaining chip in larger conspiracies. Shifting gears to the Corinthosphere, Harrison Chase devises a strategic maneuver to aid Willow Tate, drawing on his law enforcement savvy to navigate her legal entanglements with precision and empathy. Willow, resilient yet weary, confides in Chase during a quiet coffee shop meetup, her story unfolding with details of suppressed evidence that could sway her fate. However, Michael Corinthos introduces an unexpected twist, his bold intervention perhaps leaking classified documents or rallying influential allies, destabilizing Willow's case in dramatic fashion, turning what seemed a straightforward defense into a multifaceted battle of wills. Amid this, Chase carves out time to connect with Nathan West, the two exchanging probing questions over beers at a local pub, forging a tentative bond rooted in their shared history with Dante. Nathan reflecting on old cases with a nostalgic glint, and Chase sharing insights from current patrols, find common ground in the brotherhood of policing. Their conversation weaving tales of chases and close calls that bridge generations of service. Tensions simmer elsewhere as Trina Robinson clashes with Jordan Ashford, their professional rapport fraying under the strain of unspoken resentments during a strategy session at the precinct. Trina's fiery spirit pushes back against Jordan's cautious approach to an ongoing probe, sparking a debate that exposes deeper rifts in trust and ambition. In contrast, Molly Lansing Davis experiences a wave of unexpected ease, her burdens lightening as resolutions dawn, possibly tied to a legal victory that clears a path forward. This relief is short-lived, though punctuated by a heart-stopping incident involving Cody Bell, where a near-miss accident on the waterfront leaves Molly breathless, her hand clutching his arm in the aftermath as adrenaline fades into concern, hinting at budding affections amid the adrenaline. A.D.A. Justine Turner's calculated scheme targeting Sonny Corinthos unravels spectacularly. Her meticulously laid plans crumbling under scrutiny in a tense courtroom reveal that exposes alliances and deceptions. As the dust settles, the magnetic pull between Justine and Sonny ignites, leading to a charged encounter where professional barriers dissolve into undeniable chemistry. Their conversation laced with wit and weary glances that promise more entanglements. Laura Collins' noble act of selflessness reverberates through Port Charles, leaving the community reeling. Speculation swirls that she might withdraw from the mayoral election to thwart the machinations of Sidwell and his associate Ezra Boyle, a duo plotting disruptions from the shadows of City Hall. Laura, standing resolute in a press conference, articulates her decision with grace, her words inspiring a wave of support while concealing the personal toll of her choice. Finally, Carly Corinthos returns from her routine visit to Steinmauer Prison, invigorated yet blindsided by startling revelations that demand immediate reckoning. Whether it's intelligence on Michael's audacious next step against a common foe or the surprising news of Lucas Jones relocating to the foreboding Windermere Castle, envisioning Lucas unpacking amid its Gothic spires, seeking solace in unfamiliar isolation, Carly processes the shock with her trademark resilience. These developments force her to recalibrate alliances and confront lingering regrets, setting the stage for seismic shifts in the Corinthos family dynamic. Next, we will dive deep into the electrifying possibility that Caesar Faison, the infamous mastermind of deception, might still be lurking in the shadows, orchestrating a grand illusion to bend Port Charles to his will. In the ever-twisting world of General Hospital, where alliances shatter and secrets fester like open wounds, whispers are growing louder that Faison hasn't truly met his end, and he's poised to unleash chaos on those he once coveted most. Fans are buzzing with theories that this shadowy figure could be the puppet master behind a sprawling conspiracy that has the world's security bureau scrambling for answers, all while harboring a twisted dream of claiming Anna Devane as his eternal prize in a ceremony shrouded in menace. Picture the tension building in this week's pulse-pounding episodes Anna Devane, the seasoned spy whose instincts have saved lives countless times, finds herself ambushed in the dim glow of her car's dashboard lights after a late-night stackout in the foggy outskirts of Port Charles. A mysterious assailant, cloaked in darkness and moving with surgical precision, presses a soaked cloth over her mouth. The sharp chemical scent invading her senses as her vision blurs and her body slumps against the steering wheel. When consciousness flickers back, she's in a barren warehouse on the edge of the docks, wrists bound by cold steel cuffs to a rickety wooden chair that creaks under her weight. Surrounded by echoing emptiness broken only by the distant hum of the harbor, a metallic voice crackles through a hidden speaker embedded in the grimy wall, smooth yet sinister, urging her to surrender to tranquility because destiny is guiding her toward an unforeseen existence, one laced with promises of redemption or ruin. Viewers across social media platforms erupted in speculation, many convinced the timbre echoed the gravelly cadence of Faison himself, though the clipped delivery left room for doubt, fueling debates on fan forums about vocal modulators or deepfakes amplifying the drama. This abduction isn't just a random strike. It's a meticulously planned snare that hints at deeper vendettas, drawing Anna into a web where every shadow could conceal a familiar foe. Shifting focus to the power corridors of Port Charles, enter Jack Brennan, the enigmatic operative whose loyalties remain as elusive as smoke. Receiving an urgent call that purportedly originates from Anna's secure line amid the chaos. With a furrowed brow in the mayor's office, Brennan relays the message to Laura Collins, painting a picture of a top-secret WSB initiative so clandestine that it demands Anna's immediate extraction from the city, vanishing her from the public eye without a trace of explanation. Laura, ever the vigilant leader with her own scars from espionage entanglements, presses for details, her suspicion mounting like storm clouds over the waterfront while I bypass the proper channels and alert the chief of police last. The call's authenticity hangs in precarious balance. Was it Anna's real voice, coerced through gritted teeth under threat? Or a sophisticated AI fabrication mimicking her poised British inflection to perfection? Speculation runs wild that if young Emma Scorpio Drake, Anna's fierce daughter with a knack for unraveling plots, were held hostage in some remote safe house, Anna would utter any scripted line to protect her, her maternal resolve clashing against her spy's unbreakable code. This maneuver exposes fractures in the WSB's ironclad protocols, suggesting an internal mole or external saboteur exploiting Brennan's position, turning what should be a routine briefing into a labyrinth of mistrust that could topple the city's fragile peace. At the heart of this maelstrom lies Anna Devane herself, a double agent whose labyrinthine past in the shadowy realms of international intrigue has amassed a legion of enemies. From scorned lovers to betrayed operatives nursing grudges sharper than switchblades, her history of moral ambiguities balancing loyalty to the WSB with personal entanglements that blurred lines between duty and desire makes her a prime target for those seeking retribution. In Port Charles' underbelly, yet the fingerprints of the WSB seem absent from this brazen kidnapping, lacking their signature efficiency and leaving breadcrumbs that point elsewhere. Perhaps to a personal grudge amplified by intimate knowledge of her vulnerabilities. Theories abound among dedicated fans that this ordeal is a psychological ploy, gaslighting Anna into reliving nightmares of her obsessive entanglement with Faison, planting seeds of doubt in her razor-sharp mind. After all, Faison was presumed incinerated years ago. His villainous reign ended in a blaze of betrayal. But with his progeny Britt Westburn and the late Nathan West miraculously resurfacing from obscurity like ghosts summoned from the ether, who can rule out the patriarch's survival? The brain preserved in a jar, touted as irrefutable proof of his demise, could be an elaborate ruse, swapped with a decoy to lure investigators off the scent while Faison rebuilds his empire in hidden enclaves. Adding layers to the intrigue, new whispers suggest underground networks in Europe, where Faison once reigned, have reported sightings of a figure matching his profile, funding illicit ops with laundered fortunes, hinting that his death was merely a strategic retreat to regroup and strike harder. Delving into Faison's storied legacy of cheating mortality, recall how this cunning arms dealer and spy manipulator has slithered through death's grasp multiple times, faking fatalities with the flair of a stage illusionist to evade capture and exact revenge. His sudden demise in a fiery confrontation left Port Charles reeling, but precedents abound, from cryogenic escapes to body doubles in explosive showdowns. Faison's playbook is thick with resurrection tropes that keep audiences on edge. The bombshell return of his children Brit, the brilliant doctor haunted by her father's sins, emerging from a self-imposed exile with tales of survival in remote clinics. And Nathan's spectral reappearance via flashbacks, or perhaps a twin twist and disclosed ignites fresh suspicions. This family reunion isn't coincidental. It's a harbinger of a darker scheme, intertwined with clandestine laboratories churning experimental serums and psychoactive drugs designed to rewrite loyalties and erase memories. For Anna, this spells peril, as Faison's fixation on her borders on mania, a toxic blend of unrequited passion and possessive control that once drove him to sabotage her every happiness. Imagine the horror. The new life promised through that chilling loudspeaker could manifest as a forced union. A macabre wedding in a fortified bunker where Anna's free will dissolves under chemical coercion, binding her eternally to her greatest tormentor. Brennan and Jason Morgan's adamant declarations of Faison's extinction ring hollow now possibly cover stories to shield an ongoing hunt or, worse, complicity in his schemes, as their insistence feels to rehearsed amid the mounting anomalies. As shady undercurrents ripple through Port Charles, from suspicious shipments docking at the piers to encrypted communications buzzing in the night, every thread seems to loop back to Faison as the unseen conductor. His endgame, pieced together from leaked intel and fan dissections, revolves around groundbreaking yet grotesque human experimentation, pushing boundaries with neural implants that could puppet the elite or antidotes to mortality itself. Anna, with her unparalleled expertise in covert ops, becomes the ideal subject, her abduction a gateway to testing protocols that blend espionage with unethical science, potentially unleashing an army of reprogrammed agents on the world. This plot thickens with invented alliances, like a rogue faction within the WSB allying with Faison's remnants, funneling resources to labs hidden in abandoned quarries outside town, where echoes of screams mix with the whir of machinery. The implications are staggering. If Faison pulls the strings, Port Charles faces not just personal betrayals, but a systemic overhaul, where trusted figures like Anna could emerge altered, their essences warped into tools for domination. Juicy General Hospital spoilers promise an avalanche of Faison-centric revelations barreling toward Anna's horizon. From explosive confrontations in fog-shrouded alleys to alliances forged in desperation that redefine loyalties. As the weeks unfold, expect heart-stopping twists that resurrect old flames and ignite new infernos, keeping viewers glued to their screens in anticipation of whether love, in its most deranged form, will triumph over Anna's indomitable spirit or drag her into eternal twilight. Stay tuned, Port Charles faithful, for the storm is just beginning.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye.